And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. Before we get started, I just want to say for those who gave super thanks last week, I still haven't gotten to them. Gonna try to get to them on Saturday, but if for some reason I don't get to them Saturday, we'll add them to next week's super thanks. But thank all of you who continue to support the channel with super thanks, who continue to view the channel and give likes and shares and subscribes. You all are greatly appreciated, and I cannot thank you enough. Without further ado, let's get into this foolishness. Rich Paul, the founder of Clutch Sports Group and agent to numerous superstars, including the dear LeBron James, told ESPN on Wednesday that there is no package deal between James and his son, Bronny James. Furthermore, he indicated his plan to shield the younger James from draft workouts with numerous teams is intentional. Jonathan Giovanni reported on Tuesday that teams have had trouble securing workouts with Bronny James ahead of the 2024 NBA draft, which will be held from June 26th through 27th. Bronny has so far just worked out with the Lakers and the Suns. Paul confirmed that and said he is doing so in order to ensure that Bronny gets to a team that's a good fit and will offer him a guaranteed deal. Throughout this process, Paul has been consistent that he does not want Bronny on a two-way contract. This is nothing new, Paul said. The goal is to find a team that will value your guy and try to push him to get there. It's important to understand the context and realize that this has always been the strategy with many of my clients throughout the years, especially those in need of development like Bronny. My stuff is by design. Bronny is the same as my previous clients. That's a bunch of crap. Paul added, I got the word out early to teams that if you plan on bringing Bronny in, here's what you need to know. If you won't give him a real deal, there's nothing to talk about. It's hard to get real development on a two-way deal. I don't care about him going to the Lakers or Phoenix or about what number he gets picked. It's about fit. If Bronny's name was Charles Jacobson and he was my client, I would do the same thing. Okay. Identify teams that have real interest. Bronny is widely projected to be selected in the second round next week. CBS Sports' Kyle Boone has him going number 43 to the Miami Heat in his latest mock draft. All right, people. So buckle up. I don't know how long this video is gonna get, because it's a lot to talk about. And I want to start before we even get to talking about the whole Bronny James BS that's going on right now. I just want to talk about the NBA and what I think is happening. This year I feel like we've seen some players who I thought, had the potential to maybe start bringing the NBA back to a more watchable state. Players like Anthony Edwards, players like Jalen Brunson, Halliburton, I can't remember his name, on Indiana. And some of these younger players who seem to have a little bit more fire than the previous generation. But I'm here to bring bad news, people. I'm here to bring bad news, probably good news for you fanboys, because this is the kind of stuff you like. But bad news for people who appreciated the NBA when it was truly about competing. And the news is this, my people. I think the NBA is going to get worse before it gets better. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, and here's why. First of all, we all know that Commissioner Baltimore's contract was renewed This year, well, just a few months ago or something, I did a video on it. His contract was renewed. And I'm starting to think that the NBA no longer really cares about his product at all. I think it's solely about making money by any means necessary. In that way that they are trying to get money, I think inevitably is going to, it'll be good in the short term and horrible in the long term. And this is what I mean. Somehow, again, Commissioner Baltimore got his contract renewed. Somehow, the NBA re-signed these television deals that I think they said were 3 times as much as they were last year, despite the ratings not seeing any kind of improvement, despite this year's finals being, I think it was the least watched finals in NBA history. And this seems to be a trend, with this current generation. This current generation in the NBA has seemed to be setting negative records as far as viewership. But yeah, somehow they, like I said, re-signed the deal that I think was 3 times as much as normal, even though the ratings are down. Now, what I think is based off is a lot of this social media stuff and impressions, which anybody who is in the podcast game, in the YouTube game, knows impressions really don't mean a whole lot. I think impressions more or less is just that your video gets seen or that your content gets seen. It doesn't mean you're developing loyal fans. It doesn't mean people are actually going to stop and watch it for any significant time. It simply means that your content was presented in front of people. So I think a lot of this social media stuff is what the NBA is kind of making their money off of and basing, basing the ability to make money off of. But again, the ratings say that, people are watching less and less. People are less invested in watching, in committing to watching the games, in committing to teams. Again, because we're in a state now where the NBA, the players are all about themselves. The fans have been forgotten about. The only people who I believe are fans of the NBA are people who truly are fans of the players themselves. And again, like LeBron James fanboys, I do not believe LeBron James fanboys actually love basketball like that. I believe they love LeBron James. I believe they love LeBron James like high school girls used to love boy bands back in the day. The Backstreet Boys and bands like that. This is what I think is going on. But I do not believe fans of LeBron James actually like basketball like that. And it's gearing towards more this so-called entertainment. But again, I think when people say that it's about entertainment now, again, the viewership does not reflect that. The viewership in the 90s was the highest viewership the NBA has seen, and that is when it was physical. That is when it was resistant. So I think there's some kind of disconnect between what they think is translating. And again, I think what they're doing now is probably good for the short term to bringing in some quick money, but I think it ultimately potentially is going to destroy the NBA. Now that's one reason. Adam Silver, his contract was renewed. Again, we're coming from a place where LeBron James and Adam Silver together, to me, has brought the NBA to where it's at now. The NBA has been destroyed. LeBron James has destroyed the competitiveness of the NBA through stuff like not participating in the dunk contest and things like that. Through the super teams. He has destroyed the competitiveness of the NBA because he has made these things acceptable. He has made it acceptable not to go hard in the All-Star game. He has made it acceptable not to participate in the dunk contest. He's made it acceptable to put together player chosen super teams. Super teams made because the players decided to get together and make this happen rather than compete with each other. This is the legacy of LeBron James. And this is what brought the NBA to what seems like an unwatchable point. This is what brought us to the point to where we have several content creators like myself. Again, I was inspired by 2 Raw and Dreamers Pro, but now we got Sports and Fitness Rants, someone else who was around before me, Man Down Sports. I always forget about him. Angry Old Hoops, Michael Jordan fans are the best. Phenomenal Fitness, Retro Heat Check, the list goes on and on, but I think this is all a result of people who at one time probably was more or less obsessed with basketball, seeing the sport that they love ruined by, these modern players and modern media. So on top of LeBron James and Adam Silver having done everything they've done to weaken the game, to destroy the competition of the game, then you have the people in the media who has aided this by willingly promoting false narratives about the game. Promoting false narratives about LeBron James. Promoting false narratives about the game being so much more skilled, which is completely false. Completely false. I mean, again, just because you can do a lot of stuff doesn't mean that it's going to be more effective than someone who is capable of doing 20 things doesn't mean they're going to be more effective against someone who can do 10 things extremely well. And again, we've seen the fundamentals of the game are no longer there, So the game has been completely changed from the game that we loved in the 90s. And for these kids growing up today, they don't really have a true reference point. So I can kind of understand. Again, for people my age and older who buy into this new age BS, I really don't understand you guys. And I probably don't want to understand you either, if I'm being honest. I don't want to understand you. But so now we're at this point, and like I said, Adam Silver just got re-signed. Now here's the thing. We're talking about the ratings and all this stuff going on, and it doesn't seem to be based on the ratings. I truly believe that there is an agenda besides actually making people watch basketball. I believe it's a different agenda. I mean, Commissioner Voldemort has hinted at the fact of, trying to include more women in the All-Star game. And, I really have this suspicion that if it's up to him, that we're going to somehow merge the NBA and the WNBA. I mean, I really think that something, I'm not saying that's it exactly, but something along those lines. It is some kind of bigger agenda that is making them ignore the fact that ratings are down and that the quality of the game is down and that there are so many fans out there voicing their opinions. I mean, even Adam Silver himself has recognized and said, hey, players and fans have told him about how hard the game is to watch due to the lack of physicality, due to the endless three-point shooting. And he seems to have no interest in truly trying to fix it. So yeah, I think it's some other kind of agenda happening. Now, okay, so that we got that out the way. Now let's talk about what's happening with what I read at the beginning of the video with Rich Paul saying that Bronny and LeBron are not a package deal. First of all, let's start with this. When it comes to Clutch Sports and Rich Paul and LeBron James, you really cannot believe, you have no reason to believe anything that comes from these guys' mouth. You have no reason to believe anything. First of all, they've constantly tried to put out the narrative that, hey, LeBron James has no interest in meddling in the affairs of the front office with the Lakers. They're going to get to coach who they want to coach. I have nothing to do. Well, we know this is false. For years, it's been LeBron James saying that he wants to play with his son, and now all of a sudden, when the moment comes, now all of a sudden, LeBron is not set on that anymore. Like that's not a thing anymore. Bronny can wind up one place and LeBron James another, and LeBron is fine with that. Man, please. This is all this guy's been talking about for the last several years, and we know, if you've been following LeBron James at all, and in his deceit and treachery and low integrity for the game, you know that this thing with Bronny James, not only does he want to do it, but again, I really believe he thinks this is some kind of legacy boost for him. I believe this is some kind of thing that he's going to try to use in the GOAT conversation and say, oh, LeBron James, the only player to get to play with his son on the court, where who cares? They both aren't any good anymore. So, yeah, I think we all know that this whole thing, whatever's coming out of Rich Paul's mouth, is some kind of manipulation tactic. It's some kind of manipulation tactic to try to get LeBron James and Bronny the most money possible that neither one of them deserve at this point. LeBron James does not deserve a max contract. He is not that great anymore. And, well, okay, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, and Bronny James does not deserve that kind of contract either, for obvious reasons. We don't even have to talk about that. But anyway, so this whole thing with Bronny James and people talking about the whole nepotism thing. So when we've talked about this before on this channel, let me give my honest opinion about this whole thing. First of all, yes, people talk about nepotism being part of American culture. Not only part of American culture, I would say it's part of world culture. You know, kings leaving their kingdom to their son, the prince, and you know this is not a new thing. Here's what I have a problem with. Here's what I have the biggest problem with. First of all, nepotism usually occurs when you own the company. I have no problem with a father leaving his business to his son or whatnot. But LeBron James does not own the NBA, for one. Number two, my thing is this. To me, if you are going to bring him in to a position that you know and the world knows he has no business being in, Bronny James has no business in the NBA. Let's just be 100% real. He has no business being in the NBA, period. If you're going to bring him into that position, he should be accepting the bare minimum. He should not be coming into this being choosy, saying who he will and won't try out for and that kind of thing. And maybe this is all coming from Rich Paul, but unfortunately, because Bronny is part of it, he's going to get all the scrutiny that Rich Paul and LeBron James gets. And I'm starting to wonder how much of this, honestly, is Bronny. I'm starting to wonder, I mean, I'm sure it's everybody's dream to play in the NBA, but I wonder how much of it is Bronny actually wanting it to get done this way. How much does he actually want it to get done in this way, to where he's getting drafted by a team knowing that he's not ready? I don't care if he's going to work at it and whatnot. He's not ready now. So again, my thing is, if he's going to be coming to the NBA, he should be accepting the bare minimum. That's how I see it. It's like you're already taking a spot from somebody else. And now Rich Paul is trying to act like he's a number one pick. This is completely ridiculous. And to me, this is really setting the stage for what next year is going to be. Everybody get ready. The only good thing that's going to come out of it is there will be great content, because you best believe, fanboys, if you didn't like my channel this year, just go ahead and stay off of it next year. Or I should say for this upcoming season. If you didn't like my channel during last basketball season, go ahead and stay off this basketball season. Because what I promise you is I will not show any mercy on what's going on with the Lakers and what the Lakers are about to do to their franchise. About what LeBron James has done to destroy the NBA and now destroying the Lakers, and it is 100% the Lakers' fault because they are allowing this to happen. If the Lakers draft Bronny James and have LeBron James and have JJ Redick on their team, I'm not sure what we are supposed to do but laugh at this. I'm not, this will be highly entertaining. We cannot deny that. This will be highly entertaining, but this will also push the NBA into the next level of absurdity. Like, we thought it was bad for the last 15 years or so. Like, we haven't seen nothing yet, because this is going to set a new precedence of absurdity in the NBA. This is going to set a new precedence of absurdity in the NBA. To have the Lakers with Bronny and JJ Redick and LeBron James, or who knows? They still haven't. Supposedly, JJ Redick has been hired already. There still hasn't been an official announcement about that. I wonder why that is. Probably because Rich Paul and LeBron James are playing these games, trying to get as much money as possible, which is why now, all of a sudden, LeBron doesn't care if he plays with Bronny or not. Man, please. Fanboys, your king is ridiculous. Like, any followers of this crap, like, you guys really need to reevaluate your life. Reevaluate your ethics and morals, if you have any, your integrity, if you have any. Because you can't have any if you approve of what's going on. And so we're in for something. Like I said, I really believe that this whole thing is going to push the NBA into a new level of absurdity. It is lowering the standards yet again to a level, I felt like I thought the standards were about as low as you could possibly get. But apparently, that's one challenge LeBron James is up to, is lowering some standards. And he has the help of Commissioner Voldemort. That is one challenge that he is up to, is lowering some standards. I guess we will see what happens next year. Everybody stay tuned. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about the whole notion? Supposedly, Rich Paul saying that Bronny and LeBron are not a package deal. Again, he's also saying that LeBron no longer cares if he winds up on the same team with Bronny, even though this is all he's been saying for the last several years. Now it's not a big deal, right? But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, let me know what you think. Do you think the NBA is about to hit a new low? Because this is my feeling. I think the NBA is about to hit a new low, everybody. I think it's about to hit a low that we probably all didn't think was possible. But I guess to be fair, we didn't think it was possible that it could get to the state that it's in now. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, unless you're a LeBron James fanboy. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.